Super Bowl window opens the moment they start Trey Lance, and it will close once his rookie deal ends and they actually give him that extension, assuming he turns out into that franchise quarterback that you hope he's going to be, because that's always the dream, right? You want that quarterback to be a franchise leader for years and years to come. But it all starts now. All right, let's juice up. Let's use as much as we can of that rookie deal, so that way we can pay these other players and get them a strong supporting cast. So that way we're not, handicapping ourselves, which is like, you just think about what the Rams have been doing when they ended up paying Jared Goff early, and just plenty of these players. Like, what's the rush to want to pay all these players so early? I think the Browns are talking about that with Baker Mayfield, even Lamar Jackson and such. Like, there's no rush. Use all the years of the rookie deal. That's why you look at the Chiefs right now, like Patrick Mahomes, like, how long is that going to last for? Is this the last couple years that really got with each other? So as soon as you start Trey Lance, you cut Jimmy Garoppolo, all of a sudden you have all this cap space. You can keep getting more talent on the offense, shore up the offensive line if it needs to for the future, and even add some adequate corners and more pass rushing depth if you need to.
I'm going to disagree with Jose to an extent, because I view the Super Bowl window being open right now, regardless if it's Trey Lance, regardless of if it's Jimmy Garoppolo, whoever starts the season. The 49ers have some of the best Super Bowl odds out right now, because they are a complete football team. So I see the Super Bowl window open right now. And when will it close? It really depends on Trey Lance. I don't think just because you have to pay him after his rookie deal is over that the Super Bowl window necessarily closes. Of course, you have to take advantage of his rookie contract when he's at that set salary number. You need to be able to make moves and do that. But when will it close? It's hard to tell without knowing the type of quarterback Trey Lance is. If he's a Patrick Mahomes caliber quarterback, and of course that's kind of an outlier there, Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes. But as long as he's a Pro Bowl, all-pro quarterback, there's no telling when the Super Bowl window will close. And Mahomes is off his rookie deal. The Chiefs are still going to be Super Bowl contenders year in and year out just based on his level of play. Russell Wilson in Seattle, same thing. They're not necessarily a complete football team, but because they have that star level quarterback, they're contenders every single year. So the window's open right now. When will it close? It's hard to say without knowing the type of quarterback Trey Lance is going to be.
I would say that the Super Bowl window is actually going to open up next year. No rookie quarterbacks ever won the Super Bowl. I don't foresee the 49ers winning the Super Bowl this year with Trey Lance. The only time that a guy's ever been able to make it back to the Super Bowl after losing in his first start was a couple of guys that were in the Hall of Fame, and Craig Morton. He's the only other guy that's done it, and he's the only one that's done it where he's in the Hall of Fame. So as far as this year, I don't think the 49ers are in a Super Bowl window this year. I think it really starts next year. And then I agree with what kind of the sentiment of the other two folks is that the Super Bowl window is going to last as long as Trey Lance is playing. And if he this is expecting him to play at the level that the 49ers drafted him to play at. Because even though Patrick Mahomes got that big deal last year, that once you do that, as long as that guy stays healthy and continues to play at a high level, you can continue to kick that can down the road, and that's how you can continue to manage that salary cap number. That's what they did, and that's part of why Tom Brady's number was always so low in New England, was because they kept kicking that can down the road with him, and so he was getting paid, but they were keeping the salary cap number down. And so if Lance is the guy that they expect him to be, I think it can stay open for a long time. And it's the same thing with a guy like Nick Bosa or Fred Warner. Those guys are going to get paid big dollars. But if they're healthy and you expect them to stay around for a while, you can give them their money, which looks like a big contract up front, but continue to kind of move that along down the road once it's signed, and give them new money and extensions and things like that that'll make them happy and keep their cap number down for quite a while, I think.
Man, it's tough going forth. A lot of good points already. I feel like they're all taken. But as far as Super Bowl window, I mean, we're just 2 years removed from the 49ers being in the Super Bowl. So I think unless that window shut right after they got in there, we're still in that window. Now, as far as how long that window is open, I think it stays open as long as Shanahan, Lynch, and Parag are a team unit, because for some reason, always figuring out a way to put out, a really great product and a competitive product. Now, as far as injuries being the thing that derailed us, it seems like they're taking a different approach as far as who they're drafting and who they're bringing in as far as with injuries and whatnot. So I feel like as long as that coaching staff stays intact with that, with the front office being intact as well, that window is going to stay open regardless, because they've always continued to make moves to put a great product, and always, at least at the beginning of the year, being one of the Super Bowl favorites. So I think the window is more tied to Shanahan and the front office than necessarily all the players that are on the field.
Okay, you guys gave good answers. I'm going to say real simply, I think the Super Bowl window opens when the 49ers get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. Not Jimmy, just his contract, or they renegotiate, one way or the other. If they get rid of him entirely or they make him cheaper, then they're in business. I think also Trey Lance has to prove that he's good enough. Mm-hmm. But if I'm assuming he is, and the Niners can, use that money on something else, a bunch of players instead of one, I think they're in business, because if they have a good quarterback making $6 million a year and Nick Bosa making $9 million a year, I feel like that's what Super Bowl contenders have, is a bunch of bargains, a bunch of players who are outperforming their money. So it would be open as it could be week 1 of this year. It could be now. Mm-hmm. I think they could definitely make a run this year. To Jack's point, a rookie's never done it. The rookie wage scale has only been in effect for 10 years, though. And I think you could call that a small sample. I think everything has changed since that's been in play. The fact that, the rookie quarterbacks are now cheap as opposed to the most expensive players in the league is a difference. And I think we're going to see it. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think we're going to see a rookie go to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, because eventually a team's going to just put a really, really good team around them, like the Niners are doing right now. So it opens now theoretically, and I think it stays open. Again, to Jack's point, yeah, they can kick the can down the road, but the quarterback has to be open to doing that. So we'll find out about Lance when he's older. Do you want to do that and work with the team? Do you get it and see the whole picture? It seems like he does. Or are you like Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, and do you need to be the highest paid player in the league for your whatever, ego or whatever? Because I blame them. I really do blame Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers for the cap that's been placed on those two teams. But anyway, that's my answer for that question. Any follow-ups?
Yeah, I have one thing to add, and I see what you're putting up on the screen right now, this comment from Chris Royale. Yeah, so I just pulled the Vegas Insider Super Bowl odds. The 49ers have the 3rd best odds in the NFC. So Vegas views them as one of the top dogs in the
NFC's weak.
And, we're looking, it's as open as it's been for years, like Chris is talking about. The Buccaneers have the best Super Bowl odds, and then you have the Rams right ahead. So the 49ers are 3rd in the NFC. And I neither of those teams are that much further ahead than the 49ers. You can make the argument the Buccaneers just are coming off the Super Bowl victory. They'll give the 49ers a run for their money. But no, there's not a team in the NFC that would put fear in the 49ers. They're complete on both sides of the ball, which is why I feel like the Super Bowl window is open right now, as does Vegas.